I'm a goddamn school teacher from Texas who makes videos about scammers and pop culture and pimp preachers.
First, when you called him retarded, I was like, don't say retarded. But now I don't care. You retarded, one-eyed motherfucker.
Fuck you, nigga. Fuck you with your fucked up eye. Your fucked up alopecia Osiris on your goddamn bed. Fuck you and your alleged G-tube, you scamming ass, lying ass motherfucker. Cause you over there in that business chat, you know all the shit she been doing to me these last 6-7 months, and you had the audacity to be in her fucking comments talking about, what did Kim do now? Fuck you! Fuck you, fuck you, and fuck. Yeah, I said alleged G2. You ain't ever seen, have you seen the fucking G2 come from his stomach? Oh no, you'll see a lot of the bandages across his fucking stomach. Go on over there to you know her name, Afro Svengalis. Go over there to the comment section and see what that nigga wrote.
It's not so thank you. It's turning into the goddamn, yeah, you finna hear some oh, you're deceptively deceiving person. Fuck you, nigga. Yeah, I said the N-word. Fuck your bitch and the clique you claim. Fuck you, Code Fam. Fuck you, Binary Code. Fuck you, Wesley. Fuck you, Stargate. I ain't never liked your little whiny ass anyway. Nasally ass anyway.
I'm a goddamn school teacher from Texas who makes videos about scammers and pop culture and pimp preachers.
Anti-Afro Svengalis. You heard what I heard, obviously. Yes, what you see is exactly what's intended for you to see. This is the contact list for Aldine High School, or Aldine High School, however they pronounce it, where Let Me See Your Handcuffs works. These are the contacts that I will be sending my complaint to. Anyone who has an issue with what Let Me See Your Handcuffs has done, I encourage you to file a complaint. Now, let's backtrack a second. Let Me See Your Handcuffs obviously does not like the fact that I am filing this complaint. As a matter of fact, she spent a lot of time trying to convince you all that I have been calling her school, or schools or whatever, that I have been filing complaints against her. She's a liar. I hadn't once called any school ever that she works at, the community colleges or the high school. That's the kind of thing I'm trying to emphasize to you all. My complaints are in writing. I'm not going to be calling any location unless it's something I need to follow up on or somebody calls me, but I do not put phone complaints in. As a matter of fact, when I had called another location, and that's another video, and I wanted to confirm the contact of the complaint because it was kind of confusing, the person encouraged me to give her the information. I said, no, I'd rather send it. No, look, just give it to me. And I said to myself, watch, I'm going to give this to her. Just on purpose, I did this. And it's not going to go anywhere. I'll get into that story in another video. But so you know, if somebody's telling you that me/AAS is calling their job or calling someone's job, harassing the people on campus, it is a lie. And that's a lie that Let Me See Your Handcuffs continue to spread about binary code. She said it many times about her. She was always complaining and saying I was calling her job. What Let Me See Your Handcuffs does is lie better than she does anything else. That's her mainstay. That's what she's used to. But let me tell you this. There is absolutely no guilt, no regret about filing a complaint against Let Me See Your Handcuffs. Take a look at this. Let Me See Your Handcuffs did exactly what I'm doing. About 5 months ago, she posted this on her page and she told all of you to file a complaint against me. And she said it more than once on video. But you see my name here, which I blacked out or read it out. You have my NPI number. and you have the name of the licensing board. She put this on her page. She took it down, she scrubbed it, but for some reason, she feels no one has a right to complain about her. Life just does not work that way. Let me see your handcuffs. You cannot go about life expecting everybody cater to you, but when it's time for you to face the music, everybody is supposed to remain silent. Like you threatened breaking the culture of silence, that she better keep her mouth shut. Or what? Yeah, that's the attitude you have. Don't say a damn thing about me, but I can get on here and tell any lie I want about you. That's let me see your handcuffs disposition. That can be let me see your handcuffs disposition, but I'm certainly not going to acquiesce to it. Where in the world she got this idea that I was going to acquiesce to it, that's her problem. I refuse. I never considered acquiescing to anything let me see your handcuffs demanded. Let me see your handcuffs says a lot of things and does a lot of things. So many of them are just rife with dishonesty and treachery and lies and backstabbing. A very ungrateful person. She's an ingrate. Very much so dishes everything of what she'll never be able to even fathom taking. I made a pledge, and I'm going to stick by that pledge. I made it very clear in response to what let me see your handcuffs was doing. All of the chicanery she was engaged in, all of this deceit, all of the attacks, all of running these demon-infused, louse-filled live streams, taking immense pleasure in doing what she was doing along with other people. This was done in full view of the public. Let me see your handcuffs violated multiple regulations, indoctrinated in community college board policy ratified edicts, school district policy. She continued constantly to violate these regulations. She did it, like I said, laughing and cackling and just having a jolly good time at the expense of others. And I made it clear back then, and I'm delivering on it now. The response was going to be very much public. What would let me see your handcuffs be owed? On what grounds would she be owed? A private backstage response, an incognito process to deal with what she did. She's not owed anything of the kind, and it will not be forthcoming, not from me. And what I'm doing. I've made the statement, and it's not meant to tell anybody else what to do. When I file complaints, I always sign my name. I don't fear, I am not concerned that someone will find out that I filed a complaint against him or her, especially if the individual is a public servant. Now let me stop for a second, because I did receive some feedback from the video. I received feedback from the video that I posted on Anthony Okafor, the LA Trade Tech College employee who has been relentlessly abusing many people here in these YouTube streets for at least the last 2 years. I didn't provide any commentary on that video, and several of you wanted to know why. I don't want to take up time explaining all of that, so I will do a separate video addressing the reasons why I didn't originally do commentary. So when I'm doing that video, of course, it'll be commentary. But I want to stick with let me see your handcuffs for this video. Every single thing that occurred with let me see your handcuffs needs to be brought out here in the public as to my response. Anyone else who elects to file a complaint It's within your rights to decide whether or not you want to go public with it. I never require that from anybody. I'm just letting people know what I'm doing. And this is something that is done for the benefit of others as well. They may not be going through something here on YouTube, but they could be going through something in their personal life. And it sends a very bad message that we were all out here in public regarding Umar, but we were going to take, let me see your handcuffs, fraud and treachery backstage, and thievery backstage, and backstabbing backstage. No, that was never going to happen. Full blown in public. This was always the plan. She tells you all to report me to the Board of Behavioral Sciences. For what? I don't know. And that's the problem. There is no such thing as an I don't know when you're making a report to a licensing board, regardless of what board it is. You need, and listen, at least in this state, and clearly in other states, I'm just being sarcastic, you need a legislated act to point to that's related to what the licensing entity deems actionable. Now, of course, you're not going to know the final outcome until there's an investigation. If the entity decides that the complaint has base merit. If the complaint has base merit, then they will reach out to the licensee, the person who holds the license, and ask for him or her to give their side. If you don't hear anything, that represents it didn't meet criteria, legal criteria. And I think I explained this before, and I'm going to make a point to explain it again. The reason why states are very specific about having legislative acts that fall under what's a violation in any profession, whatever it is, it's because people take advantage, and out of spite and being vindictive, they can just bombard licensing boards with any willy-nilly thing. And before you know it, the licensing board is mediating personal disputes and personality conflicts. No way, they're not going to do that. People obviously could be malicious in their reporting. They could be lying. And that is a waste of resources, people. So that is the reason why the acts are legislated. They're specifically actionable. And that is what you have to let the board know, what exactly is going on here. I've never heard from the board ever about any, quote, complaint. And it doesn't surprise me, because this is the situation. The things that I am reporting, what you heard at the front end, the things that I object to, and I'm being specific at this point about me. This is about me reporting. On Let Me See Your Handcuffs are specifically legislative acts that she has violated. She was warned multiple times to knock this off, and she never heeded the warning. She continued to go on and on and on, stealing from AFW, making these statements that are so incredibly unethical, unauthorized, and actionable. Questioning my mental health fitness. I stated it before in another video. That's actionable. Let Me See Your Handcuffs is not a mental health professional, so she was operating outside the scope of her professional duties. And no, you don't get a pass because you're off, quote, the clock. You're a public servant 24/7. Yes, teachers are public servants. You're public servants. You can't get around it. The district policy, it says you are deemed a public servant. So those idiots out here, all these new live streams that are cropping up, making all these idiotic statements that Let Me See Your Handcuffs isn't a public servant, is bullshit. Teaching is the most noble of all professions. It is a public servant duty. Unfortunately, Let Me See Your Handcuffs represents teachers, although her conduct is just simply deplorable. She instructed you all to report me, and she is well within her rights to instruct you all to report me. There is nothing illegal against saying report someone. You can say that. However, it changes quickly whenever I say it. She put my name up, told you how to report me, but there's a problem that I'm doing with her, and I have actual proof of what she did. She doesn't have anything at all tangible that she can report me on, because there is nothing. It's just like this lawsuit in federal court. You can jump and make all the conclusions in the world. You are a bully is a conclusion. Okay, you are a bully. How did you come to that conclusion? Because this person is doing this, what is this person doing? You have to spell it out, and you have to be tangible, especially if you are online. There is evidence online if what you're saying has merit. It does not. Me, on the other hand, as you heard at the very beginning, there was plenty of proof that Let Me See Your Handcuffs is violating all types of regulations. It is very important when you make a complaint that you're very specific. It doesn't have to be long and drawn out. You're specific about where that complaint is going to be sent. I made it clear as well previously, never under any circumstance send a complaint to one person on a school campus. You need, at the very minimum, 2 individuals. And look at the hierarchy. Human resources absolutely would be top of the line, because they are the responsible party for making sure people are hired and disciplined within the confines of the law. It's pretty straightforward. I made it very clear what I would do if Let Me See Your Handcuffs did not stop what she was doing, which was violating my rights. Let Me See Your Handcuffs can decide to kiss off any bad behavior that's perpetrated upon her, which she has done. Dumpsy and other people have eviscerated her. She decides she doesn't want to do anything about it. But what does she do? She turns around and thinks that people like me and breaking the culture of silence and Rev G are going to put up with her garbage. She would host all these live streams where she allows people to engage in conduct that is 100% unethical, illegal, and against the policies that she signed on to abide by. That is the decision that Let Me See Your Handcuffs made. That is not incumbent upon me to simply ignore her bad behavior. She will need to answer to what she did. People, you know there's more to come. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.